car you're about to finance might already be worth less than half its sticker price. In 2025, depreciation is wiping out tens of thousands of dollars, quietly, aggressively, and in plain sight. Popular models are collapsing in value while automakers stay silent. And here's the truth nobody's saying out loud. Your dream car might be a financial trap. Which vehicles are losing over 60% of their value in just 5 years? Why are luxury brands now leading the collapse? And how do you avoid spending $50,000 on something worth $15,000? Because by the time this video ends, you'll know exactly which cars to walk away from and why your wallet depends on it. Audi A7 sedan, sleek, luxurious, and engineered for performance. This four-door fastback once dazzled buyers with its futuristic cabin and smooth highway manners. It promises prestige, delivering a head-turning profile and refined German technology that make it feel like a budget-friendly exotic. With its turbocharged powertrain and quattro all-wheel drive, it checks nearly every box for executive performance and daily comfort. Unfortunately, what looks good in the showroom often turns into a wallet-draining liability in the real world. After 5 years, this model loses more than 60% of its original value, amounting to over $43,000 gone on a car that initially sold for around $70,000. What accelerates the loss is not just market forces, but also the reality of ownership. Once the factory warranty expires, the Audi A7's complex digital systems and luxury components become expensive to maintain. Infotainment breakdowns, electronic glitches, and adaptive suspension faults are common, and repair costs often soar past $1,000 even for minor fixes. And if you think Audi has it bad, wait until you see what happened to one of America's most iconic luxury giants, Cadillac Escalade ESV. Dominating highways with its imposing size and signature chrome grille, this extended-length luxury vehicle delivers on space, style, and comfort. With 3 rows of seating, immense cargo capacity, and a commanding road presence, it appeals to those who want utility without sacrificing prestige. The interior boasts premium leather, cutting-edge entertainment, and advanced driving aids that once placed it among the most desirable full-size options in the country. Yet, within 5 years, it loses more than 62% of its original value, over $56,000 on a new model priced around $90,000. Such a steep drop stems from multiple compounding factors. At just 13 to 15 miles per gallon, its fuel economy is dismal, and when gas prices spike, so does buyer hesitation. Maintenance costs are another hurdle, with basic services often starting in the 4-figure range. To make matters worse, high-mileage units from ride-sharing fleets and rental services flood the second-hand market, dragging prices down further. For many buyers, the risk of inheriting a heavily used vehicle with luxury-level maintenance costs just is not worth it. From oversized SUVs to once-beloved electric trailblazers, the financial pain only gets worse. Tesla Model X. When it first arrived, this electric sport utility vehicle made headlines with its vertical opening doors, blistering acceleration, and a tech-focused cabin pulled straight from a science fiction film. For families wanting an electric experience without sacrificing size or style, it felt like the future had finally arrived. With room for 7 passengers, autonomous driving capabilities, and unmatched performance, it had the markings of a long-term market disruptor. Yet 5 years later, owners face brutal financial consequences. Depreciation surpasses 63%, meaning a vehicle that once cost over $80,000 is now worth less than $30,000. That plunge wipes out over $53,000 in value. Even worse, the innovative Falcon Wing doors have become a known reliability disaster, with some repairs costing as much as $30,000, a staggering sum just to keep the doors functioning properly. Battery degradation, outdated hardware, and poor fit and finish comparisons to newer electric vehicles have eroded resale confidence as competitors deliver better range, faster charging, and more refined interiors. This once revolutionary vehicle has become an expensive and outdated relic in record time. And Tesla is not the only electric vehicle brand getting crushed. Even some Japanese icons could not escape the downturn. Don't let these cars drain your wallet. Hit subscribe for more insider info on what you should really avoid in 2025. Nissan Leaf electric vehicle. Compact, clean, and one of the earliest electric vehicles to hit the mass market, this model carved a name for itself as the people's electric car. With its simple design, easy-to-drive nature, and affordable price tag, it attracted thousands of environmentally conscious drivers in the early 2010s. For urban commuters and budget-minded households, it seemed like the perfect gateway into the world of electric mobility, quiet, efficient, and gas-free. However, the economic reality of owning this vehicle in the long run is deeply sobering. Within just 5 years, this electric compact loses over 64% of its original value on a car that initially sold for just under $30,000. That's more than $18,000 gone, often leaving the owner with a vehicle no one wants to buy. The issue isn't just about depreciation. The vehicle's short, real-world driving range, which hovered around 150 miles when new, now often falls to just 120 miles or fewer, due to battery degradation. Now let's talk about a brand that tried to go premium and ended up in no man's land. Infiniti QX80. Spacious, sleek, and marketed as a luxury crossover, this mid-size sport utility vehicle from Japan promised comfort, convenience, and a touch of upscale design. It offers 3 rows of seating, a smooth ride, and plenty of features that, on paper, should place it among the top contenders in its class. The cabin feels plush at first glance, with leather trim, touchscreen displays, and chrome accents that hint at refinement. For growing families wanting more than just utility, it seemed like an ideal step up from basic crossovers. The problem is that its premium badge masks a very ordinary origin, and buyers have caught on. In 5 years, this vehicle depreciates faster than many of its competitors, losing over 61% of its original value. That's nearly $31,000 in lost equity on a vehicle that barely offered more than its mainstream cousin. Beneath the surface, this so-called luxury sport utility vehicle is essentially a rebadged Nissan Pathfinder, sharing much of the same underpinnings without offering any of the prestige or reliability associated with true premium brands. Speaking of badge confusion, this next Italian nameplate fooled buyers once, but never again. Maserati Gibli. With its bold grille, triple side vents, and snarling exhaust note, this Italian sports sedan makes a powerful first impression. It offers exotic style, head-turning curves, and the illusion of high performance with its trident badge and muscular stance. Drivers looking for something rare and dramatic on American roads often fall for its charm. It promises Ferrari-derived emotion at a more attainable price point, filling the gap between mainstream luxury and true exotic machinery. Yet behind the sculpted metal lies one of the most financially punishing cars on the market today. In just 5 years, the Maserati Gibli sheds nearly $71,000 in value on a vehicle that starts around $100,000. That is a devastating loss that few owners ever recover from. While the vehicle's appearance suggests opulence and precision, its underlying build quality often falls short of even entry-level luxury cars. Owners report constant electronic failures, trim misalignments, and drivetrain concerns that raise red flags before the warranty even expires. And the same brand tried to make a sport utility vehicle. Let's just say it didn't go much better. Maserati Levante. Styled to turn heads and engineered to sound like a symphony on wheels, this Italian luxury sport utility vehicle was designed to bring Ferrari flair into the daily driver segment. With its sharp lines, performance-tuned suspension, and a growling exhaust note, it promises drivers an exotic experience wrapped in practical form. On paper, it checks all the boxes: luxury badge, spirited handling, and premium interior finishes. Unfortunately, what the spec sheet suggests, reality quickly betrays. Over the span of 5 years, this vehicle loses nearly $65,000 in value. That is more than half its original purchase price gone before it even sees 100,000 miles. Why? Because behind the badge lies an ownership experience riddled with frustration. Owners frequently report serious electrical system failures, inconsistent drivetrain performance, and touchscreens that go dark without warning. And when these issues occur, help is often far away. Maserati's dealer and service network remains limited, meaning that even basic repairs can involve multi-week waits and expensive part orders from overseas. From Italian headaches to German heartbreaks, here comes another money pit disguised as performance. BMW 5 Series Hybrid. With a mission to combine classic German driving dynamics with eco-conscious hybrid technology, this executive sedan promised the best of both worlds. It delivers smooth handling, refined acceleration, and a badge that suggests engineering prestige. On paper, it offers all the comforts of a luxury car, while appealing to buyers who want better fuel economy without sacrificing sophistication or performance. Yet by 2025, this once promising hybrid faces a brutal truth. Nearly 65% of its value disappears in just 5 years. The problem lies not only in the car's market reception, but also in its complex design. Combining internal combustion and electric drive systems creates double the potential for failure and double the repair costs. Owners report drivetrain confusion, battery inconsistencies, and hybrid control modules that malfunction after just a few years. Once the warranty expires, repairs often require expertise from technicians certified in both hybrid and German performance systems, inflating service costs well beyond $2,000 per visit. And the pain doesn't stop with hybrids. Even the full gas-powered versions are bleeding value. BMW 7 Series, sitting atop the BMW lineup, this flagship luxury sedan is supposed to symbolize ultimate refinement, cutting-edge technology, and effortless power. It offers rear-seat comfort akin to a private jet, a commanding presence on the road, and a cockpit filled with ambient lighting, gesture controls, and digital innovation. It is marketed as the pinnacle of German automotive engineering, built for executives who demand comfort with performance. However, this towering luxury comes at a brutal cost. By year 5, the vehicle loses more than 67% of its original value, representing a drop of over $65,000. It is not just depreciation driven by luxury market trends. It is a direct reflection of the vehicle's complex and failure-prone systems. Owners report everything from infotainment crashes to suspension failures and steering malfunctions, all tied to the car's vast network of computers. When repairs are needed, parts are costly, labor requires certified specialists, and diagnostic bills alone can reach 4 figures. Now, if you think BMW's struggling, wait until you see what Mercedes has to answer for. Mercedes-Benz S-Class. Few vehicles carry the weight of prestige quite like this flagship luxury sedan. For decades, it has been the automotive gold standard for refinement, innovation, and status. With its whisper-quiet ride, handcrafted materials, and groundbreaking features, from massaging seats to augmented reality navigation, it is the car of choice for executives, diplomats, and anyone seeking 5-star comfort on 4 wheels. At the showroom, it radiates excellence. On the resale lot, however, it tells a much different story. After just 5 years, this elite sedan loses over $71,000 in value. That is not a typo. It is a staggering decline from an initial price tag that often crosses the $100,000 mark. While the Mercedes-Benz S-Class offers cutting-edge technology, those same systems quickly become its biggest liabilities. Owners frequently report digital malfunctions, failing sensors, and glitch-prone electronics that require specialized service. And none of it comes cheap. Routine maintenance starts at hundreds of dollars, while more complex repairs can run into the thousands. And while Germany's feeling the heat, Britain's not far behind, especially with their off-road disaster. Land Rover Discovery. Rugged in appearance and loaded with upscale features, this British-designed sport utility vehicle promises a mix of adventure and aristocracy. It offers 3 rows of seating, serious off-road capability, and a reputation for luxury that once rivaled more expensive brands. From scenic countryside drives to urban commutes, it positions itself as the all-in-one choice for the discerning driver who wants performance and style. Unfortunately, beneath the polished exterior lies one of the most depreciation-prone vehicles on the road. In just 5 years, this model loses over 61% of its value, amounting to nearly $37,000 wiped out from its original price. The culprit? A relentless parade of mechanical and electrical problems. Owners report frequent suspension failures, unpredictable electronic systems, and chronic check engine lights that land the Discovery and service bays far too often. Repairs are rarely quick or affordable. Even routine issues often require parts and diagnostics only available through specialized shops, with repair bills frequently surpassing $1,200 per visit. Next up is an American classic that's turned into a used taxi with leather seats. Cadillac Escalade Standard Length. Long admired for its bold presence, luxury appointments, and commanding road feel, this full-size American icon became the poster child of upscale sport utility vehicles. Whether used for celebrity arrivals or high-end family haulers, it combines raw power with modern amenities, making it one of the most recognizable names in the industry. From its chrome-heavy styling to its tech-packed interior, this model has always sold the dream of American luxury. That dream, however, quickly fades into financial regret. After 5 years, years, the standard-length Escalade sheds over $53,000 in value, placing it squarely among the worst depreciation cases in its class. The reasons are many. First, its dismal real-world fuel economy, often hovering around 13 miles per gallon, makes it a costly daily driver. Second, the cost of ownership is inflated by four-figure repair bills, even for moderate repairs. And finally, widespread use by rental fleets and rideshare services floods the used market with high-mileage units, dragging prices down even further. And while Escalades burn gas, this next electric vehicle burns through your savings. Jaguar I-PACE. Elegant, electric, and ambitious. This all-electric crossover was Jaguar's bold entry into the future of mobility. With striking exterior lines, sharp acceleration, and a smooth, quiet ride, it promised a blend of British refinement and cutting-edge innovation. The cabin is lined with premium materials, advanced displays, and a dual-motor setup that delivers instant torque. For a moment, it looked like Jaguar had outpaced its rivals in the race to electrify. But 5 years later, the numbers tell a far less flattering story. The Jaguar I-PACE loses a staggering 72% of its value in that short period, translating to more than $51,000 vanished from a $72,000 investment. This is not just depreciation, it is market rejection. Repeated recalls, unstable software updates, and unreliable charging behavior have plagued the model since launch. Owners report failures in critical systems, including braking and battery modules. Making matters worse, Jaguar's limited North American dealer network offers sparse support, making timely repairs difficult and warranty claims frustratingly slow. The I-PACE fell victim to first-generation electric vehicle design flaws and a rapidly advancing market, and Jaguar is not alone in this mess. Another British badge is crumbling under its own legacy: Range Rover. For decades, this British luxury icon stood as the gold standard in opulent off-roading. Its commanding stance, plush leather interior, and all-terrain prowess made it equally suited for mountain trails and five-star valet stands. Beneath the elegant exterior lies advanced suspension technology, dynamic all-wheel drive, and a reputation that once symbolized success and sophistication. Yet behind the prestige lies a reality that few owners escape. Over a 5-year period, this model loses nearly $68,000 in value, an astonishing sum that makes even German rivals look like stable bets. That translates to a depreciation rate of nearly 63% on a vehicle initially priced around $108,000. Reliability remains its Achilles heel. Owners frequently report problems with air suspension failures, electrical gremlins, engine issues, and infotainment freezes that often lead to extensive and expensive shop time. The resale market knows what's coming. Most buyers now lease these vehicles short-term, intentionally dodging post-warranty costs. Long-term ownership is practically unheard of outside brand loyalists or unaware newcomers. The once proud Range Rover name has become synonymous with unpredictability and unplanned expense. Next up is yet another Audi, and yes, they're still on the list again. Audi A8L. Once considered the pinnacle of Audi's engineering mastery. This extended wheelbase flagship sedan blends power, comfort, and executive presence. With a minimalist yet high-tech interior, a silky smooth ride, and advanced driver assistance features, it was built to rival the very best from Bavaria. From adaptive suspension to massaging seats, this car was designed to deliver a first-class experience in every detail. Unfortunately, buyers in 2025 are fleeing large sedans, and this one leads the exodus. In just 5 years, the Audi A8L sheds nearly $58,000 in value. Starting around $92,000 new, it retains less than $35,000 on the resale market. It is not just a market shift, it is a product burdened by complexity and diminishing desirability. Owners report frequent issues with its air suspension, infotainment systems, and sensor-dependent features. Once the warranty ends, even minor malfunctions can cost several $1,000s to address. The A8L's appeal has also been undercut by the surge in electric vehicle luxury options and buyers moving toward high-end crossovers. While the badge still holds weight, the actual ownership experience has become costly, cumbersome, and increasingly irrelevant. And we're not done with Audi just yet. Audi Q7. Elegant, spacious, and packed with technology, this German-engineered family sport utility vehicle once led its class in design and innovation. It promised luxury appointments, 3 rows of seating, and dynamic all-wheel drive performance for those wanting comfort without sacrificing utility. The refined cabin, digital displays, and premium materials made it a tempting choice for parents looking to upgrade from traditional minivans without compromising sophistication. Yet, just 5 years later, the financial picture is devastating. This vehicle loses more than 61% of its value, translating to over $37,000, gone on a model that starts near $62,000. Its status as a former tech leader has become its greatest liability. Owners frequently report touchscreens that become unresponsive, virtual cockpit displays that glitch, and infotainment systems requiring full reboots or dealership service to repair. Beyond the tech, suspension problems, particularly in models equipped with adaptive air suspension, often result in costly repairs exceeding $2,000. Audi is not alone. This next Japanese luxury sport utility vehicle is suffering a slow, expensive downfall. Infiniti QX80. Big, bold, and undeniably luxurious, this full-size Japanese luxury sport utility vehicle was built to make a statement. With a powerful V8 engine, a towering stance, and a plush interior loaded with wood trim and quilted leather, it caters to drivers who want size and presence without switching to an American badge. It excels at highway cruising and towing, offering a commanding view of the road and comfort for large families. Yet, beneath the surface, it is a financial wreck. This model loses over 65% of its value in just 5 years, meaning more than $53,000 disappears from a vehicle that originally cost more than $81,000. Its 12 to 14 miles per gallon fuel economy is a major deterrent in today's efficiency-focused market, and despite its price tag, the technology inside feels a generation behind. Owners complain of sluggish infotainment, low-resolution screens, and dated safety systems compared to similarly priced rivals. From gas guzzlers to glitchy sedans, this next one used to be a status symbol. Audi A6 sedan, sophisticated, understated, and undeniably German in its execution. This executive sedan was once the symbol of refined business-class motoring, offering confident performance, subtle styling, and a tech-laden cabin. It served as a stepping stone between entry-level luxury and full-blown flagship opulence. For years, it was praised for delivering comfort, capability, and understated prestige in equal measure. Now, 5 years into ownership, buyers face a sobering truth. This model loses more than 60% of its value, draining over $35,000 from a starting price near $59,000. Infotainment issues are among the most reported problems. Owners experience screen freezes, connectivity bugs, and faulty interface responses that often require full module replacements. Electrical problems are also widespread, from faulty sensors to dimming instrument clusters that fail without warning. And then there's the broader market shift. Sedans like this one are falling fast as consumers abandon them in favor of crossovers and sport utility vehicles. Even with all-wheel drive and turbocharged power, resale demand is soft. The result? A luxurious sedan that demands premium prices up front, but delivers minimal returns later. The next entry is a warning shot to anyone tempted by stylish design alone. BMW 5 Series. When it comes to German precision and performance, the BMW 5 Series gasoline-powered sedan has long been viewed as the gold standard of mid-size luxury. It delivers exceptional handling, balanced ride quality, and a sense of refined power that has defined the brand's legacy for decades. However, all that initial prestige comes at a cost, one that becomes painfully clear just a few years down the road. In 2025, this iconic vehicle has become one of the most financially destructive purchases you can make. Over a 5-year period, the BMW 5 Series gasoline model loses more than $36,000 in resale value. That staggering loss is driven by several compounding issues. First, the 5 Series is a common choice for short-term leasing, meaning the used market is oversaturated with off-lease units that dealerships struggle to move. This glut of inventory causes prices to plummet, especially for models out of warranty. Then there are the infamous maintenance costs. Owners regularly report control module failures, often exceeding $1,500 per repair, along with suspension system replacements that can run $2,000 or more. These are not rare occurrences. They are expected milestones once the vehicle surpasses 60,000 miles. The only thing worse than a German depreciation trap is an American electric fantasy turned disaster. And finally, the #1 financial disaster car in 2025 is Lucid Air. At launch, the Lucid Air promised to revolutionize the electric vehicle landscape. With sleek lines, futuristic interiors, and over 1,000 horsepower in its top trims, this American-built luxury sedan captured the attention of investors, engineers, and eco-conscious early adopters alike. It was positioned as the bold challenger to Tesla, promising longer range, faster charging, and an unmatched ownership experience. Yet, just a few short years later, the Lucid Air stands as the single worst financial decision you can make in the current car market. Over a 5-year span, the Lucid Air depreciates by an unbelievable 71%. A vehicle that once sold for over $85,000 brand new is now commonly listed for under $25,000 on the used market. That level of collapse is not just concerning, it is catastrophic. What went wrong? Nearly everything. Lucid Motors failed to scale its service infrastructure, leaving owners without local maintenance options. The software experience, once touted as cutting edge, has been plagued by glitches, failed updates, and poor integration with common apps. Early models have also been hit with battery degradation issues that significantly reduce usable range. Factor in long repair delays due to parts shortages, and the ownership experience quickly becomes an exercise in frustration. We've just shown you the cars that are sinking faster than a stone, and why buying them in 2025 could be a disastrous decision. If you want to stay ahead of the game and avoid these financial landmines, hit that subscribe button and let us know which vehicles you'd stay far away from in the comments below.